It is 2023 officially, and that means it's time for me to release my top 10 list of 2022. My top 10 action figures of 2022. So this is going to span all lines, multiple lines. It's not just specifically to one wave or one line or one company or whatever. So, as always, every year it gets harder and harder to compile a list, compile just 10 figures out of the entire year that will be the best of the year, at least for me. Of course, this is always subjective. So everybody's top 10 list is going to be different depending on what they like. So I made a lot of choices here. It took me a little bit, but I think I finally am happy with my final list. Now this year, I think I'm going to go ahead and make multiple top 10 lists. I've never really done that before. I tried to stray away from that, but there was so many Marvel Legends this year that were amazing. There was so many G.I. Joes this year that were amazing. I might even make a top list of G.I. Joes of the year because I couldn't fit them all on here, obviously, and I couldn't, I want to do them justice. I want to, put them out there and let people know what I think of them. So, although you may not see a lot of Legends or a lot of Star Wars or a lot of whatever specific line, just know that there was so much this year that it's very hard to compile a list. So before I start repeating myself too much, let's go ahead and get started here. I'll start with my honorable mentions this time around, and I'll rapid fire these so we're not here too long. So these are figures that did not make the list. Almost made the list, but if the list was bigger, top 20, top 30, they'd definitely be on the list. These are all worthy of a purchase or at least checking them out to see if you like it or not, because they're all amazing figures. So we'll start with the G.I. Joe Storm Shadow that came out towards the beginning of the year, end of 2021. So Storm Shadow, also the G.I. Joe Spirit Iron Knife. Then we have the SH Figuarts Krillin. Then we have the SH Figuarts Dodoria. The Marvel Legends Walmart exclusive Doctor Strange, Star Wars The Black Series Echo, SH Figuarts Zarbon, Marvel Legends Vulcan, Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure Bonebreaker. Next we have the Marvel Legends Renew Your Vows Spider-Man and MJ 2-pack. Then we have the Mezco 112 Collective Wolverine, Marvel Legends Peter and Ned Leeds 2-pack, Marvel Legends Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man. Then we have the G.I. Joe Sergeant Stalker, SH Figuarts First Form Cell, SH Figuarts Kara and Am from the Star Wars Divisions TV series, Marvel Legends VHS Retro Box Morph, Mafex Jean Grey, Mafex Superman, SH Figuarts Battle Clothes Gohan, Star Wars The Black Series The Clone Wars Darth Maul, Marvel Legends Retro Iron Man with the Proton Cannon, Marvel Legends Mojo, Mafex Iron Man, the classic Iron Man that they released this year, Mezco 112 Collective Constantine, Marvel Legends Lizard, the retro carded lizard, SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Superhero Goku, WWE Mattel Ultimates Goldberg, G.I. Joe Classified Dr. Mindbender, G.I. Joe Classified Sergeant Slaughter, and I'll end it off with the Naughty or Nice Big Bad Toy Store exclusive Santa Claus. So again, all figures that were great, just couldn't make the cut. There's even other figures too, but I don't want this to be too long. So let's go ahead and get started with my top 10 list here. Number 10, we'll start it with the G.I. Joe Classified Serpentor, or Serpentor, however you want to say it. This is a figure I just opened right before I made this video because I know a lot of people were talking a lot of stuff about this figure. I wanted to know what the hype was about, and I didn't want to miss this potential figure being on my list because I was just delayed in opening him. I had him since he got released, but I just never got around to opening him. And once I opened him up, I can see where all the hype is coming from. It is a gorgeous figure. I mean, the G.I. Joe Classified series team this year really killed it. I mean, I think they were neck and neck with Marvel Legends. Marvel Legends, they released a lot of good stuff as well, but G.I. Joes are some of the best figures Hasbro's producing, and this is the only G.I. Joe on my top 10 list. It's hard, but I just don't have the attachment to G.I. Joe like I do with Marvel and like I do with Star Wars and Dragon Ball Z, so it will definitely get beaten by those because those lines or those franchises are getting awesome figures as well. Like I said, this top 10 list is tough. But let's move on here. The next is going to be the Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure Khonshu. So I am going to include Build-A-Figures on this list. But anyways, the Build-A-Figure Khonshu was a great Build-A-Figure, and I'd say it's the Build-A-Figure of the year. Just barely beating the Bonebreaker Build-A-Figure. I had to choose Khonshu over Bonebreaker just because, like I said, I have more of an attachment to the TV show than I do to Bonebreaker, the character from the comics. But that Bonebreaker is not a figure to sleep on. He is still a great Build-A-Figure. I know a lot of people probably are confused on why I chose Khonshu over the Bonebreaker, but those two are pretty much number 9 for me. So if you want to count those two as number 9, you can. So moving right along to number 8, we have the Marvel Legends 20th Anniversary Iron Man. So I had to put this one number 8. I couldn't inch it closer. I tried, but it is one of my favorite Iron Mans in my collection, and I did select this figure over the Iron Man retro carded proton cannon Iron Man that released, with the mullet Tony Stark had. I had to choose this one over that one, just because the proton cannon release is just a repaint of the modular Iron Man that we got the year prior. And this 20th anniversary version of Iron Man is a new sculpt. It does use some pieces from, I think, a previous Iron Man, but for the most part, it's more new than the proton cannon version. And I just love the unmasked head sculpt on this figure. It is fantastic. Some of the best paint apps and sculpts that Hasbro has done for Marvel Legends. And speaking of that, the next on the list is even better, and that is the 20th anniversary Marvel Legends Captain America in number 7. This head sculpt is fantastic. It looks absolutely beautiful on this figure. The figure itself is beautiful too. The only thing is that these two figures had pins in them. It was right before their pinless adventure that they started off going this year, pretty hard. So if only we could get this Captain America pinless, but still, even with the pins, I'm fine because it just looks so good. It's a beautiful figure in and out. It's one of the best Captain America figures ever made, in my opinion. It's my favorite Captain America in my collection for sure. So coming in at number 6, I'm gonna have to give it to the SH Figuarts Buzz Lightyear figure. This is from the Lightyear movie from Disney Plus, and it is an awesome figure. It's incredible. It looks so good. I never thought I would have this on my list of Buzz Lightyear, but in number 6 at that, this figure is not one that you want to skip out on. I think it's awesome. I know a lot of people didn't like the movie too much, but just to have a Buzz Lightyear in general from Toy Story and not look like the toy, just like a normal animated human, I guess. But it's a great figure, and it's not one to look past on. So don't miss out on Buzz. Coming in our top 5 here, starting off top 5 here at the number 5 spot, I have to give it to the Star Wars The Black Series Dark Trooper. This figure is a deluxe release, which I didn't totally agree on. I think they charged 30, 35, something crazy for this figure. They put it in a bigger deluxe box, and that's the only thing that really hurts this figure. But he's starting to get clearanced out everywhere because of the overprice that they retailed it for. So I highly recommend you guys pick up this Dark Trooper. If you're anywhere near a Star Wars fan or a Mandalorian fan, this is one of the best Black Series figures that Hasbro's made. But like I said, I still try to see if you can get it on clearance, because I still think like this figure should have been $25 at max, because he doesn't come with a lot. But that's going to be my number 5. Going into number 4, we're moving into the SH Figuarts Porunga figure, and this thing snuck in right at the end of the year. I haven't even made my review yet. The review is going to come out after this video. That's how recent this figure is, but it came in literally on December 29th, December 30th, somewhere around there. And it is beautiful. It's awesome. Like I said, this is what I'm more attached to. Dragon Ball Z SH Figuarts is my favorite line in my entire collection. So everyone that has watched my videos know, and especially if you've seen my past top 10 videos, it's very Dragon Ball Z SH Figuarts heavy, because that's what I love. So it's obvious that that's going to be on my list. But any Dragon Ball Z fans out there, SH Figuarts Porunga, I know he's a little pricey, but man, this is a figure to witness in person. It is awesome. The gimmick, I thought not necessary in the beginning, but once I started playing around with it, it's very cool. It's very, very interesting how they did it. The Dragon Balls light up wirelessly. It's not even connected anywhere. It's somehow connects to the base and lights up wirelessly. It's very cool. It's something I didn't expect, and it looks really, really cool. And it's cool to play around with and show your friends when they're over and you want to show them this awesome Porunga. It's definitely the biggest SH Figure Arts Dragon Ball Z figure to date, beating the SH Figure Arts Grade 8 Vegeta, which did make my top 10 list that year. I'm sure he was number 1 or 2 or something. I don't even remember. But these big figures from SH Figure Arts Dragon Ball Z have been all knocked out of the ballpark. All of them have been amazing. They've been doing such a great job. And who would have thought we would be here today, SH Figure Arts Dragon Ball Z collectors, with a Porunga in our collection? I said the same thing with Grade 8 Vegeta. I said the same thing with Shenron. It's amazing where this line is going, where it's gone, and where it's still going. It's what a great time to be alive. That's all I'll say. Moving on to number 3, we're going to have to give it to the SH Figure Arts Dragon Ball Superhero Gohan. And if you have this figure, you know why he is number 3 on this list. He is absolutely stunning. By far the best Gohan figure ever produced. This was a shocker to me. I wasn't a big fan of the movie figures at first. The funny big shoes and the different looks kind of threw me off, but these figures are fantastic. Gohan in particular, he is something you need to get a hold of just to have a adult Gohan, that definitive adult Gohan. He's in that purple Piccolo gi, so that's the first time we get him in that gi as well. He's just fantastic, and he has extra accessory pieces that are being packed in with future releases. So if you want other head sculpts, you got the Piccolo cape and the glasses coming soon as well. And this figure was like $38. It was super cheap for one of the best Dragon Ball Z figures ever made for SH Figure Arts. I gotta give it to number 3. Moving into number 2, yes, I did include it, the Haslab Galactus. Now, I didn't do this last year for Haslab Sentinel. I felt like it was unfair, but now I'm going to contradict myself here, right? I'm going to include the Haslab Galactus on this list because he is just that freaking amazing. It is absolutely a sight to behold to see this thing in person. It's breathtaking. It really is, even more so than the Sentinel. It makes the Sentinel seem like it's not even that great. Honestly, that's how good this Galactus is. So I had to include it. I just couldn't exclude him. I couldn't just leave him as an honorable mention. And honestly, if the Sentinel came out this year alongside with Galactus, I'd still pick Galactus over Sentinel and keep Sentinel as an honorable mention. So this Haslab Galactus came packed with 3 figures: the Morg, the Frankie Ray Nova, and the Silver Surfer. If you want to include those as part of the pack, you can, but I'm really just focusing on just Galactus himself as a giant size action figure. He is just everything that we were expecting. He's great. He's great. Any Marvel Legends collector will agree with this. I feel like they would. It's one of the best Marvel Legends ever made. It's the biggest Marvel Legends ever created as well. It seems like the bigger the better on this list, but it's true. Like, man, they killed it with this Haslab, and it's even better than the Sentinel. So hopefully they keep going with these giant size figures. We saw that the car for Ghost Rider didn't do very well. Hopefully they go back to giant size figures, and they've been doing good so far. So anyways, we're down to our number 1 spot. Of course, what did you expect? You didn't hear him in the honorable mentions, and you haven't seen him yet on this list. So it's gonna go to the SH Figure Arts Dragon Ball GT Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Now this is personally to me one of my most requested, one of my most anticipated figures of all time. I've wanted an SH Figure Arts Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta for the longest, way before Goku, way before anything. I love GT. A lot of people don't, but I keep mentioning that I really do like GT. I don't hate it like most people do, and I love the Super Saiyan 4 transformations, and I love SH Figure Arts and the line Dragon Ball Z within SH Figure Arts. This is just a combination of multiple things that I love. Everything combined together, the Super Saiyan 4 form. Here it is, Vegeta, and Goku was actually my number 2 last year. I couldn't put him past Cooler, but I mean, those 2 figures, oh my gosh, this Vegeta is even better than that Goku. I really hope that they continue on with GT. That's another request of mine. I have so many other highly anticipated figures I don't ever expect seeing, like Omega Shenron and Nova Shenron and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. I think I think Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta's in the bag now since we have these two. But I really hope they continue on. You never know. I never thought we'd get Porunga or Graded Vegeta, and we got them. So, anyways, that is my top 10 list. As always, these lists tend to be very long in terms of the video, but thank you for sticking around towards the end. If you're still here, let me know your top 10 list. As always, guys, I appreciate you guys supporting me all year, watching my content, and let's hope for another great year in 2023. There's a lot of good stuff coming out next year. It just keeps getting better and better for toy collectors, except for the prices that keep increasing. But in terms of all the quality and quantity of stuff that we're getting, we still are getting a lot of stuff. So it's very exciting, and I cannot wait to see what 2023 brings us in regards to all of these lines here that we all collect. So thanks for watching. Comment down below. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. And as always, take care, take it easy, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.